streets and heard what they could be performing. But I won't lie to you. We know there's only an allotted amount of time for this versus with over 1 billion records sold with Cash Money and a lot of joints of No Limit that span generations, West Coast, NOLA, a lot of potential guests. So I've seen some potential set lists, and you know what? Like, Versus is so fun to me because it's really a chess match. There's so many hit records that going hit for hit you think is easy, but it's really about what you respond to a certain record. So I think even the set list that I saw, I think that they may change orders, change songs depending on what the other crew performs on some real OG hip-hop energy.
But that comes back to what Jim, Jewels, and Dave were saying about the DJ.
Yeah.
Right? To be able to call those audibles in the middle of it, you got to have the right DJ up there with you.
Yo, and that, now that you say that, Manny Fresh is a real X factor.
See? Now you talking.
He's a real X factor in this arena because, he's the maestro.
Yeah.
And he was there since 95. He'd been there through it all, essentially. So it's like him calling the plays, knowing, oh, No Limit just did this. Hold on now. That I think is gonna play a pivotal role in how No Limit responds. But then it goes back to Master P's drill sergeant energy and bravado. I think that he's going to be able to kind of maybe answer that with the preparation that No Limit has.
The organizational preparation.
Exactly.
The internet says this is Cash Money's to lose.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the discography, Cash Money clearly has a lot of hits.
Yeah.
And we know that Cash Money, you had a conversation with Juvenile, so he's going to be in the building.
Mm-hmm.
We are assuming that BG is going to be here, right?
Yes.
But we don't know that for sure. We know Manny Fresh is here.
Yes.
We do not know if Lil Wayne is showing up, right?
Yes.
We don't have any intel on that.
That's a fact.
On the other side, obviously C Murder won't be here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Silk the Shocker will.
Confirmation
on that?
Silk the Shocker did do an IG Live with Juvenile, so I think that Silk the Shocker will be here for sure.
All right. We obviously have Master P. Do we know about Mia X?
I would lean to say yes, just because also just knowing, like we've been talking about, knowing how Master P is with his preparation, I don't think he would come out with just one soldier. Honestly, respectfully, I feel like he's going to bring out, in terms of who's going to be there when he walks out on stage, Silk the Shocker, Mia X.
Now, can they play a mystical record here at this event?
If he's not here?
If he's not here, is that fair game?
I'm trying to think about him. It's interesting, though, because, when Versus started with just the producers, and they were obviously playing records that they produced, had a hand in. I don't see it as off limits if they let a mystical record play out, even though he couldn't be there performing, if they just kind of performed it for him, because he was so crucial in that crew. And then, there's also the wild cards of, West Coast P, Richmond, when he was out there, the work he did. And
I was going to ask you about Snoop. Is Uncle Snoop showing up?
Look.
Bro, if Uncle Snoop pulls up,
I'm not saying
that changes this whole shit.
I'm not saying this a fact, but look, here's the context clues. Here's the breadcrumbs for maybe us to come to a conclusion.
Okay.
At Complex Con, Snoop does have a booth where he's featured prominently on. This ain't no insider info.
No, this is, if you walk around, you're going to see it, but that's a great point.
If you're outside, he does have some merch and some booth presence.
Yeah.
So I don't think it is out of the realm of possibility for Snoop to potentially pop out. And I think that changes the complexion of the battle, to be honest. Snoop got some crazy No Limit joints. And also, I think it's important to point out.
He got one of the biggest.
I think it's also important.
Down for mine, I
think Lay Low, look. I think
Lay Low, yes.
Lay Low is stupid.
Yes, it's technically on No Limit.
And I think it's important to point out, also kind of adding into why he might show up, Snoop really, really admires P. He said that P saved his life when he left Death Row.
Yep.
So it's
Snoop
like
was in a pickle at that time.
And he said that Master P really held it down for him. So I feel like because of the respect and admiration that he has for him, I wouldn't be shocked if he made, his birthday just passed like a week or two ago. I wouldn't be surprised if he stepped out,
We are about 18 minutes away from, or am I adding that up right? Yeah, about 18 minutes away, 17 minutes away from going live here to the Versus stage, which is amazing here at Complex Con 2025. Apple Music, Complex Con collaborating for this Versus moving forward, which is a phenomenal opportunity for hip hop, a phenomenal opportunity for myself and yourself. It's great to work with you. The next conversation I think is around Cash Money being the team that is just coming off the Fresh tour.
Yeah, which, to your point about preparation and what Joel was saying of, team chemistry, you would think that No Limit would have the edge because of how Master P runs the crew, but that's a great point that they just got off tour. Juvie, BG, Turk, Birdman, they're all warmed up and used to performing together on stage. I saw them at Dreamville Fest this year, and Wayne came out for that. That was crazy, and it reminded you of just the bag is deep. The bag, once they did all the project, like once they went through all their records, and then Wayne came in and a Millie started ringing out. It's just, so I think they are also warmed up from tour. What do you think though, in terms of who's more prepared?
It would seem I would have to agree. I would have to agree with that assessment. I know that this is important for Master P as it pertains to New Orleans, the music scene there. I know this is very important for him as it pertains to seizing the moment. I think something that a lot of artists have done very well coming out of these moments is put on a great show. So whether the internet says you won or lost, it's not really, it's did we put on a good party and did we do it for hip hop, right? And did we reignite people's interest in our catalog? And I think that's also important on the business side, where you have this quote-unquote versus effect that they're talking about, where, after versus, people are going and streaming and finding and remembering music that they just weren't interacting with because they're inundated with so much other content all the time. So that's a phenomenal opportunity here. So whether No Limit comes out on top or Cash Money does, I think the winner, and this is me being corporate and political right now, you see what I'm doing? The winner is really hip hop.
Is the culture.